Hello StarCraft fans, this is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between State and Korean characters on Ulrena. And with me today is our special guest Hartless.
Good evening.
A good evening to you, Hartless. How are you today?
I'm doing alright, I'm ready for the week to be over. It's going to be a good night tomorrow night.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we're casting this on a Thursday. It'll post, I want to say on next Thursday on my channel. I'm not sure what the plans are for Hartless and our combo cast, but hey, let's get right on into this. In the top side of Ulrena, we have the red Protoss player. Everybody knows him as State.
And in the bottom side, in the bottom left-hand corner, playing as our blue Zerg, it is some name I have no idea how to pronounce.
Yeah, on my interface it shows up as question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark.
Yeah, I got a less than question mark, greater than, and then 4 question marks.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, this is their clan, I don't know what it is, and this is their name, I don't know what it is. But it's a pool first here from Korean. Holy smokes.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, going pool first. I don't see any gas, which is kind of weird. It's like it's a slowing aggression at the first here. And is State going Nexus first? State is going Nexus first. Oh no.
This could be absolutely disastrous. This is like the anti-opening that you want. If our, how are we going to call him? I guess just our Zerg player. If our Zerg player sees this quick enough, he could end up just winning this within like 2 minutes. Maybe not that much, because we're almost at 2 minutes. But
yeah, I don't think he even needs to see it. He's got 6 lings already on the way, 8 now. He has his second hatch coming up. State recognizes that's late, and so I'm not sure what he's going to do to try to deal with this. His gateway is about 30% complete. The 8 lings are actually getting distracted a little bit by that probe. The probe did a good job keeping them from going directly up that path. Oh, a block with a pylon, that's what it is. Yep, here comes the probe for State. Going to throw down that pylon and delay the attack from the Zerglings. This is why you scout, ladies and gentlemen. This is why State scouted to see exactly what was going on. He saw the early pool. He saw the lings coming out. It gave him time to throw down these pylons. You don't want to do this anyway just because it's a waste of minerals. But if it's the difference between you dying and you living, go ahead and get those pylons down.
Yep, because if you are able to delay it just long enough, then you're able to hold it, because that Zealot is coming out, and it should be done by the time that the lings are able to break this down. So I think State is actually going to be able to hold this.
The problem is, a Zealot can't really stop the lings from killing this Nexus. And here they come running right on in here. Cybernetics core is about 50% complete. There is no Mothership core on the way at all. The lings are going to knock down yet another pylon, forcing more mineral loss. It was cancelled, so it's not that too bad for State. But holding the line here is the Zealot. The lings can't get inside the main, which is a small mercy for our Protoss player, but this natural base is completely dead. Canceling that pylon. State, I don't know, I feel like State might as well have just canceled the Nexus here, but we'll see if the lings can get it down before this Mothership core shows up. Although there are no pylons within range of this Nexus, State's just going to lose his second base. There's nothing he can do about it.
And that's just going to hurt, because whenever you lose that, whenever you go Nexus first and then you lose it, it kind of just destroys your opening, it destroys your game plan. It gets kind of in your mind, and so it kind of psychs you out, and you don't play as good as you want to.
So, much like the game we cast a couple of weeks ago, our Zerg player is making way too many lings. Look at this. 22 lings are on the field. They're just now getting metabolic boost started, but State is going to have Mothership core here, a ton of Zealots holding that line. There's no way the lings are going to be able to do anything, and those could be drones. Zerg players, if this is you, if you want to go early harass and kill that Protoss base, go ahead and do it, but drone like a madman behind it. Don't have 22 lings left over that are going to do nothing to the Protoss player, because that's just an absolute waste of resources, absolute waste of larva, and now I think State might just be okay. He's up 27 to 20 harvesters.
Yep, and that's such a great thing for him, is the fact that our Zerg player, for lack of what I'm going to call him, our Zerg player just overcommitted to it. He made way too much stuff, like you said, and that's just going to absolutely hurt him, because the Nexus goes down. State still has a stronger economy. He's going up. I think he has will have 3 warp gates, because warp gate is just about finished. He's putting down a Stargate, and now he should actually be able to put out a couple Phoenix and go relatively uncontested.
Yep. And despite that, it's 2 to 2. 2 bases to 2 bases. State is even with our Zerg player. Zerg is not saving up for that 3rd hatchery at all. He's basically going for a Roach War and possibly for some more aggression, but I just don't see how this is going to work. There are Zealots out. There are sentries here. The sentries with force fields should be able to deal with these lings. No big deal. The lings are clear across the map anyway on the bottom right-hand side of this place. It's just insane. Mothership Core now has enough energy for several, I believe it's 5 photon overcharges, which is just a ton. Can deal with a large number of lings, and they're speedlings, yeah, but excellent defensive positioning here by State, but he's also sending out an attack squad with adepts and zealots and sentries.
Yeah, this attack, when it comes, it's gonna do a lot of damage here because the lings are here. The queen is gonna get attacked, and it's gonna. Oh no, they're not gonna take it down. But a good couple force fields, and the rings are not gonna be able to get as much of a wraparound as they want. But they are gonna end up at least cleaning it up.
Yep, every single unit is dead except for these 2 adepts inside the main base. A good drone pull here from Korean, basically saying, you know what, you might be able to kill a couple of my workers. I'm not going to let you stand there and kill all of them. A good psionic transfer for the adept down to the natural. She does have a total number of 4 kills, which is good but not great. Resources lost tab is definitely favoring our Zerg player. He's only lost 300 minerals thus far and 2 workers, compared to State's 1,100 minerals and 250 gas. State might have overextended there. I mean, he saw how many lings the Zerg player had. He didn't send sufficient forces to really do much at all, and the lings were actually able to get some use out of themselves.
Yep. The other thing I was thinking that might have actually made this worth it with all this many lings is if maybe he put down a baneling nest earlier, because we were talking about how he had so many lings. If he was maybe going for some type of baneling attack, then that would have made sense. But he's not. He's going up to Hydralist Den. And right now, he's also in a very difficult spot because he's supply blocked because this Void Ray is it's taken out, I think, 4 Overlords now.
Yeah, I was actually impressed with Korean's Overlord placement. Earlier on, I liked it. He could see Warp Prisms coming out, could see Phoenix coming out, but now he just lost 4 or 5 Overlords. There's a Ling over here, too, that is going to die. It was supply blocked for just a bit of time there. He's doing okay now. But, man, those Void Rays really got their money's worth out of them, and a 3rd Nexus is on the way for State. A
big indicator though was the fact that State put that Nexus down before he killed the Ling. I don't know if anyone noticed that or not, but the Ling was still alive when the Nexus went down, and so now our Zerg player knows what to be expecting. He knows to not expect any type of really huge push the next few minutes, which means he's going to sit back, be able to drone up a little bit if he wants to, or possibly go for some timing attack, possibly around like the 9.5 minute mark.
So all those roaches are completely dead. These Hydras are also dead. Not enough Hydras to deal with 2 Void Rays. There's a Ling attack here at the 3rd base, though. But Photon Overcharge and a Void Ray enough to shove them away. Void Rays with 2 and 8 kills each. One of them is a Mentor. The Lings have nothing to do with that. Continuing to pump Hydras, though, is our friend... I'm going to call him Barcode, but I guess it's more question mark. So... Again, doing an excellent job getting Phoenix, getting a Zealot legs as well. Muscular augments on the way for our Zerg player, and it's basically 3 base to 3 base, 53 to 46 Harvesters, and State again in a commanding position. A nice comeback from losing his natural earlier.
I was actually just about to ask, what do you make of the Zealot leg enhancements upgrade right now?
You know what? I've seen a lot of this on my channel the last few days here. It's just, I don't know, Zealots are getting a lot more play than they used to. I'm not sure it's just for their tankiness. Adepts did lose some of their armor upgrades they could get to make themselves even more tanky. They die a little bit more quickly. So Zealots, as far as meat shields go, are kind of superior to Adepts, and they don't cost any gas either. So I think Protoss are starting to experiment with them and see if they can make them work in compositions in Legacy of the Void.
As for Zealots, I think that's a really good composition when you're going up against a lot of Lings, depending on if you can get a critical amount of them. But I also really like the choice that State has elected to go for, and I like the choice of High Templar. Because Archons are going to be strong. If he decides to go with Storm, Storm will actually, quite frankly, just shred a bunch of these Hydras and Lings pretty good.
Is he going for a Templar Archives?
Yes, the Templar Archives has already finished. It's right below the Dark Shrine.
Oh, there it is. Yep, Templar Archives and a Dark Shrine. Okay, so going for all the Templar here is State. Yeah,
it's
all
kind
right.
of interesting. He's actually playing very tech greedy. This could actually be very devastating because he's doing so much in the form of tech that he doesn't have a very, very strong army yet. And with a bunch of these Ravagers coming in, this could actually do a lot of damage.
Yeah, got the Ravagers, got the Hydras. Gotta like that a lot. Ooh, active forces. Get rid of that. There we go. And here comes, yep, a big attack here with Hydras and Ravagers and Roaches. And yeah, pretty much there are 2 Void Rays, an Archon, and a bunch of Zealots. I'm not sure if this is a good composition against what we are seeing from our Barcode player here.
No, well, these Ravagers, if they can get some good money hits on these Phoenix while they're lifting up the butt. Oh my goodness, the Hydras are just getting shredded. Barcode is in such, like, oh my goodness, the air army is just doing so much damage. I honestly thought the Barcode was going to be in a better situation than he is now, but no. He's actually in a very precarious situation because these Void Rays are just doing so much damage.
Yeah, he didn't do a good job targeting the air units with his Hydras. He was kind of trying to take down the Zealots, which the Ravagers and the Roaches wouldn't have much of a problem with at all. And so, yeah, basically we have 3 Void Rays here. We have a bunch of Phoenix that were just lifting and killing a bunch of those Hydras, and definitely State won that engagement.
Yeah, but at what cost, though? I mean, his army, yes, is quite strong, but he's down in terms of supply, and he's in terms of army supply, I should say, and he's also down in terms of economy. He's got to be really careful because Barco is going to be able to remax quite quickly.
He is. There's no Overseer with this army, though. The DTs at the front are starting to hack through these Roaches and these Hydras, but buildings are dying. I'm not sure if there are enough DTs to actually make this work. Losing this Nexus would be a massive blow. However, there are just continual stream of Dark Templar here. There are 6 of them, and that's enough to force Barcode back after sniping down that 3rd Nexus.
Where are the Overseers for Barcode?
There it is. There's the Overseer. I think it's just 1, though. So
I think it was just a little bit too late.
All right, Archon's trying to morph into the front door. Not a good spot at all. One of them dies immediately. Another one, too. Might get focused down. The Hydras aren't sure what to attack. Now they turn their attention to the Void Rays and to the Archons, but Archons with this splash damage against Biological doing an amazing job. And once again, Barcode is forced to pull back, but has 14 Hydras in production. Yeah,
Hydras are so good. Right now, with the Hydras being able to attack the Void Rays as strong as they can, I think Hydras are a good choice. Honestly, I think I'd like to see maybe in a, granted he's nowhere near this, but I'd like to maybe even see some Infestors here.
Yeah, Infestors would be really nice. Also, you know what would be nice? An Overseer. He didn't remake the one after his first one died. Now, any DTs in this army are just going to crush him. Actually, I don't know where the DTs are. Did they all get annihilated?
I believe they all morphed into Archons. There's only 1 DT left that never morphed.
All right, so that 1 DT is going to have to do this because this is a lot of Hydras. Rota's coming in here as well, trying to pick up as many Hydras as they can, but there's still a bunch on the ground. Archon's getting evaporated almost immediately. Void Ray getting sniped down too, and that's it. A GG from State.
That was so many Hydras. That was a ridiculous amount of Hydras.
It really was, and Hydras, as long as they're not going against Colossus or Storm or Disruptors, are actually really, really good for Z as against P. And State had none of those things. He went for Archons instead of getting Storm, and I think he really paid for it there. Again, just Mass Hydra does so well against Phoenix. Void Ray really good against Archons too, surprisingly, with that extra range that they have. And he was able to basically shut that down. State had not replaced his 3rd base at all. And that's it for State.
Indeed, it was a good match. It was a valiant match.
So what would you differently? What would you do differently if you were State? Say if you just lost your 3rd to that Roach Hydra Ravager composition, how would you handle it differently?
Honestly, I think I would have handled something before that. Considering how we saw that he was going with a lot of High Templar and a lot of Lings, I think he should have gotten Storm earlier before the 3rd base ever really even got attacked.
Yeah, I like that.
I think Storm would have been the correct answer had it been preemptive.
Yeah, and again, he had the Templar Archives for a good, I want to say 4 minutes before at the end of this game. Never really went for that Storm. He could have, but sinking the money into DTs, it's just such a gimmicky move to go into Dark Templar, because once your opponent has any detection, they're pretty much worthless. So, I mean, 1 Overseer would have been enough to really shut those guys down. A bit of a risk there from State, and it didn't really pay off.
Yeah, and it's not like he didn't have the resource to do it. He ended the game with almost 400 gas and 700 minerals. He could have very well pumped out a few High Templar early, let them get their energy up. I think Storm would have been the correct answer, and then obviously morph into Archon and let them take against the Roaches.
Yeah, and I wonder too if he recognized he was down economically this much. I mean, it's 46 to 63 Harvesters. That is almost a 20 Harvester different in favor of the Zerg player. I wonder if he just figured, you know what, there's a 3-base Zerg here. He's pretty darn well saturated on all of these bases. If I try to get the 3rd up, he'll come back with another attack, and I'll be dead. Maybe I can take him by surprise, but it didn't really work out for him in the end.
Indeed. And it's unfortunate, but that's the way it is.
That's the way the cookie crumbles. All right, so that's it from us. This has been Falcon Paladin and Hartless coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. You can find Hartless at HeartlessSC on Twitter, /HeartlessSC on YouTube, and /HeartlessSC on Twitch. I am /Falcon Paladin on both Twitter and Facebook. Also Facebook for you, right? /Hartless
Yep.
SC. All right, all of the things for Hartless. But just Twitter and Facebook for me. I don't have time for Twitch. And that's about it. So again, check us out on those social networks. We like to post fun stuff and links to our casts so you don't miss any of them at all. And that's about it. So until next time, as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.